Hey y'all, what's up? This is PS, your auntie, and today we're going to talk about how your personal growth can affect your life and finances, right? And I'm getting into it right because I have not been honest with myself, right? I just saw a video from someone that was just talking about how a lot of us may be experiencing like depression sometimes because we are not living authentically. So I just want to share my story with you and my journey because I don't have it all the way together, right? But I feel like I'm in alignment, right? I feel like I really am in alignment now. I've done everything up to now, well, just recently, of really learning who I am and what I have to offer, right? And how to position myself because it's not just about selling to people what I want them to have. So anyway, I want to talk to y'all about my journey, right? And this and in this instance, a book that I've written. This is a book that I've written shoot, I want to say 13 years ago now. I started in 2009, and I didn't finish it until 2012. But this book is not necessarily about personal finance, right? But this video is about how personal growth. This book is called The White Liquor Narrative. Let me give you a brief background on it. So, I wrote this book as a disgruntled daughter, right? I am a daughter who grew up in a house with a father who was an angry father, and I still don't have the best relationship with my father, right? And it is what it is, right? So I wrote this book out of spite, okay? I didn't have all of of course, I thought about a memoir because you want to tell all and stuff like that. But I couldn't really remember it chronologically. And when it comes to a memoir, you have to write chronologically. And excuse me, y'all. And because I couldn't remember it chronologically, it kind of I'm happy with it because it developed itself organically. And the reason why I believe it developed that way so that it can help. Of course, it was me. It was therapy. It's therapeutic. But I'm sitting on something that could possibly help somebody else, right? So my question now is to you. Just if you care to, I would like to know, because that's what we're here for, right? To share and engage. How do you feel like you haven't lived authentically, right? So I'm continue with my story. I haven't lived authentically with myself, and I want you to share yours. Please do, because y'all ain't coming to these comments. I need to hear from y'all now. Um, so for me, here I am, like I said, this artistic person. I can write, I can sing, I can draw, I can act. I'm actually quite hysterical. You wouldn't know these things because I haven't shown them to people, right? I kept thinking that the value is sometimes just sitting up, on the camera trying to sound like an intellectual, and it's not that. It's really just showing up as yourself. It's really just being authentically yourself, right? Um Never to try to purposely offend or anything like that, but just being yourself. And that's the value. When people see us be ourselves, it frees them up to be themselves, right? So, like I said at the top, I wrote this book to be spiteful to my dad because he drinks. So I called it was initially going to be called Black Man White Liquor because he likes white liquor. He loves it. He loves it and it loves him. Well, that's another story. But even still, and I changed the title of it, but still, it was therapy for me. And this is for not only disgruntled daughters, right? Because I know I'm a healed daughter, but that takes time and that takes work. And I went to work on myself, right? I didn't necessarily have to go to anyone professional, but I did put it in these pages. And what I want to encourage you to know is this. What we in, y'all? We in 4 minutes in? We all have that thing inside of us that we are not sharing with the world. And we're not sharing with the world. in order for the world to see us for who we are. And then we complain about not being seen or whatever. We feel not seen, but we're not seen because we're not showing up. This story, I feel like it can really help someone, because I want you to know this. You don't have to necessarily write a story. You don't. You right? You can do art, whatever. But if here's a way of you being able to tell your story. This is done from a comedic standpoint. This was done purely out of satire. And I'm gonna tell you this much. When I recount this story, right? When I sat down to write this story, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. This is how I know that this story was supposed to be written this way. If you've ever written something, and those that are writers know, you know that stories already have an energy and a spirit on it. It's like seancing. When you write, it's seancing. So when I put my pen on this paper, I'm not lying to y'all. The words just started coming out. I could barely keep up with my pen because it was already there for me to say. It was already there, wherever it is, for me to write it just that way. So I'm going to give y'all an excerpt. Let me give y'all an excerpt. This is what came out. I'm trying to tell y'all. You don't have to write your story sometimes in a way that's just a memoir, where you're just recounting all of the details of your life or whatever. You can write it in a way that really makes you, that can be therapeutic, but it can come out in another way, like this. It can come out in a way that's humorous or comedic, that can give you some relief, right? So this is what came out, y'all. Listen to this. 'Twas the week before payday, when all through the house a disgruntled man yelled at his kids and spouse. Leave me alone. I can't wait till y'all get grown, so y'all all can get out of my home. Now if you disagree, then start some ish today, and I'll open the door so you can be on your way. The children felt trapped, so they silently brewed, and all 5 went away to plot in their room. He gets on my nerves. He has no respect. Wait till he gets old and we'll push him down some steps. Wait till he gets old. We can't wait that long. So they feverishly plotted to the wee hours of morn. They thought long and hard, and they came up with this. A plan that involved a demon mask and a careful twist. That came out, y'all. That came out. I didn't even force it. And I don't even, look, I was reading the paper and I didn't have to read it. So this is my encouragement to whoever needs to hear this. You have something that you have to offer of value to people, right? People are going through things, and sometimes you don't need to just keep reliving the sad or the anguish or whatever. You need to laugh about it. Laughter is therapy too. And I know some people are like, what the heck? No. Those of us that have lived certain way, and we have our experiences with our parents our way. So if you had a good parent, God bless you. Some of us don't have that. And I want you to know that you don't have to just be crushed up underneath your experiences, your life as a child. You're an adult now, right? And how you process it can be in a way that doesn't just make you just fall to seed, right? And you don't have a cushion underneath you. You don't have to write it that way. You can write it another way. I wrote it that way, and that was therapy. It came out comedically. I'm satisfied. It made me feel good. So that's what I want you to, I want you to, when I get this book up and ready, I do this for us daddyless daughters. My dad was in the house though. That's the crazy part about it. My dad was in the house, but he was not affected. He wasn't. He wasn't. He was not affected. And that's just the truth. So I want you, and this is for children, for all adult children who have grown up in households that were not favorable, and we were kind of like left to the wolves, right? There's something of value inside of you that you could be putting out there too to help somebody. Come forward and tell your journey. And that's what I encourage in my work. I encourage you to be inspired by it. You don't have to sit up and be just sad and angry. I was an angry daughter. Don't get me wrong. I was an angry daughter. That's what I told you. I wrote it from. I wrote it from being angry with my dad. But when you read the rest of the story, I believe you will really like it because you just will. You'll like it. I remember I read the story when I first had written it to my baby sister. She was just on the phone crying. Anyway, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, T. And I was not expecting that from her, but she was just cracking up. So that's the want you to come forward with. If I can make you laugh, if I can let you know that just because you've been through something painful does not mean that you still can't find joy, you can. You can. You can still find joy. You can still get the good stuff out of life. Just because you've been through something doesn't mean that there isn't any good in life, right? So keep that in mind. And I want to know from you, what is it that you have done? Or how do you feel that you haven't authentically showed up? Did I cover that? Did I cover that about myself? But I want you to tell me, how do you feel like you haven't shown up authentic? Let me go back some too, because I be all over the place talking sometimes, y'all. Y'all gotta forgive me. But I just saw a video too where another YouTuber was talking about how not living authentically, right, and not living in our creativity can bring about depression and anger and sadness. And I have to be honest, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's no need to be jealous and hate on anybody else and be bitter, when the reality is that be inspired. And I'm not saying that I haven't experienced jealousy. If I'm honest, of course I have. And it's no need for that when I'm living authentically as myself. I'm showing up. That's my work. I'm going to be bringing an EP out. I want y'all to know this too. This book was not just written. I've been sitting on work that I have not authentically showed up and expressed or showed to you guys. I haven't. It's my fault, you know? We get into the rigmarole and this, that, and the third, and we let life take us away from, and now I'm confronted with it. I have to do it. So I want you, that's my takeaway. When I publish this work and I bring it out, it's copywritten and everything. I want you to be inspired by it. I don't want you to just sit in your story and be sad. Look, my baby sister said something just recently. We was at Thanksgiving, and we were talking about one of our family members, and young lady, and she's going through something, and my baby sister said this. She said, "Oh, you bound to do anything when you angry with your father." Child, let me tell you. Child, let me tell you. We know. We know. We are those daughters. We are the daughters of a angry father that made angry children and made children bitter, or not bit, and some, angry, and all kinds of things that were dysfunctional, right? We know what that is. That's my baby sister that said that, and I was like, girl, 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 girl. It's the truth. But see, this is what I want you to know too. You don't have to just lash out, right? And just go and be self-destructive. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, that self-destruction can have a way of straightening you out, right? We know that. Things can look a certain way, right? But if you can, in your anguish, right? In your hurt, anguish, in your hurt, in your disappointment, if you can channel that, right, more constructively, channel into something like a book, channel it into something that allows you to, the therapy, right? It's a therapy session. I never got a formal apology from my dad, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't need it. It's nothing he can do. It's nothing that it can do at this point. I don't need it. I don't need an apology from my dad. So that's where my personal growth and development came from. I want a lot of you to understand that too. Some of us are waiting for apologies that will never happen. It's you don't, and I want you to know this from my own personal journey. You don't need their apology to heal, y'all. You don't need it. So this is the apology to myself, as my father got on my last nerve. And this wasn't me as a little girl. It was me as a younger woman in 2009, but still a whole adult, angered, grown woman. And I wrote what I wrote, and it was therapy for me. So I want y'all, when I publish this and I put it down as a digital book, I want you to come and enjoy, and I want y'all to come and discuss and tell, if you care to, share your journey with me, right? And I want you to know, and the reason why I keep encouraging that is because personal growth is a collective journey, right? What I have come to understand about my own journey is that I am directly tied to other people whether I like it or not. What I do does affect someone else. What we all do affects someone else, right? One hand does indeed wash the other. So whoever is out here, I want you to know that. Try your best when you read my work. I want you to be inspired by it. I want you to be inspired by it. Channel your energy into something constructive. Channel your energy into something that can help somebody else, because sometimes what I've learned too, and I know you probably heard this from some other people, I found it to be true, right? That sometimes when you go and help somebody else, you wind up helping yourself. If you don't know what to do with yourself sometimes, go help somebody else, right? So I've been sitting on this work, unauthentically living, and this is for just beyond daddyless daughters. This is for the children of people that have been neglected, right? And how to get that therapy session that you need, right? You need it. So I'm not gonna hold y'all. I think we got us almost a 20-minute video, y'all. The storage is acting all right, like it got some sense today. So anyway, I keep telling y'all I'm bringing my website. It's coming. Don't think I'm flaking on y'all. My website is coming. I will also be bringing my book about the white liquor narrative. I want y'all to enjoy it. I want you to like it. I want y'all to give me your honest opinion, and I want y'all to be inspired to bring the value out and start living authentically. You are the value. You are the value. You are the value. You are the value. I am the value. And that's it. Show up and be yourself, which encourages other people to be themselves as well. All right, y'all. This is PS, your auntie. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.